Fingerprinting for identification purposes has been around since prehistoric times. Artifacts have been discovered throughout the world that resemble friction-rich patterns. So, even though fingerprints were not widely used to identify criminals, yet fingerprints have been a unique identifier. In ancient Babylon, fingerprints were used on clay tablets to conduct business transactions. Instead of using signatures as a means of identification, most individuals during this era opted to use their print as verification purposes. This authentic method disabled the threat of being impersonated. Chinese used this method as their form of signature in order to protect their identity and work. Fingerprints were not being officially used to identify criminals until the 19th century. However, Sir William Herschel in 1858 was a chief magistrate in India who used fingerprint identification as a means to prevent fraud. He required residents in that area to use fingerprints to conduct business transactions. Herschel found early on the unique value of how fingerprints could be used in order to be a good marking for identification purposes. Juan Votek was the first police official from Argentina in 1982 to make the first criminal fingerprint identification based on a fingerprint left on a doorpost. He was also noted as the first to create a fingerprint filing system. This led to other officials over time creating new and improved ways to store fingerprints for later retrieval for identification purposes. Obtaining fingerprints have improved over time. Even though the traditional ink printing is still available, fingerprints are now taken digitally in order to fill the fingerprint databases. These prints can be shared locally, statewide, or even worldwide in order to identify an individual. Some police officers now are equipped with portable fingerprint scanners that enable them to use just one finger in order to search their fingerprint database to make a positive ID. Sir Francis Galton was well known for many areas of studies, especially his contribution to the study of fingerprints. Because of his passion for studying the human body, he published the first literature to explain the individuality and permanence of fingerprints in 1892 called Fingerprints. Galton created the first fingerprint classification system, which is currently still the blueprint to classify prints by today. Since ancient times, fingerprints were used as a means of identification. Fingerprints have been evaluated for years and have been a unique, unduplicated means to identify someone. The fiction-rich details enable individuals to be positively identified from others around the world. Researchers continue to discover new identifiers in order to reveal the true identity of someone, but fingerprints still remain at the forefront.